Hi, Michelle here, Thrifting 101. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're stopping in. I have part 2 of that haul. This one's a bit larger than last one, and I have a really good surprise in it also. Hope you enjoy. The other day and I was stuck in traffic, and as I was sitting there for about 5 minutes, I noticed there was a new thrift store right over there, a charitable thrift store I had never been in. So I zipped off the road and went into the store, and I'm really glad I did. I picked up this adorable, it's milk glass, it's not marked, but it's Hazel Atlas. It's a jelly jar. This one obviously is a strawberry. I paid $1.99 for it. They made them back in the 30s and 40s as a promotional piece for Kix cereal, which was new back then. If you bought 2 boxes of Kix cereal, you could pick this up for a penny. They also made them in apple, and they made one in a pineapple too. It's, show you again. It's a milk glass. It's a fired on milk glass. It is not marked. Hazel Atlas on the bottom. There's no marking. But that's what it is, and it was advertised as an English breakfast marmalade jar. Bought it for $1.99. Like I said, I'm going to sell it for about $8. I'm going to do these 2 pieces together, even though I did not buy them at the same stores. They're restaurant wear. This one you can see says Chenango, and this one says Mayor China. But if you look, right here and right there, they both say Interpace, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So before I tell you about the pieces, I'll tell you a little bit about Interpace. Interpace stands for International Pipe and Ceramics. They acquired the Chenango company in 1968, and they acquired the Meyer company, in 1964. They also happened to produced Franciscan ceramics between 1979 and 1983. They own lots of different companies. They also own Tiffin. But I just thought it was interesting that they both said Interface. I want to do a little research on that and pass it on to you. And now I'll talk a little bit about the pieces. This is the Chenango gravy boat. It's restaurant wear, like I said. It was produced in 1989, and the pattern is called SHO 76. I paid 99 cents for it and asked $25 for it. It's got a flower, pretty flower on both sides. A correction, this is the piece I'm going to ask $25 for. I'll probably ask about $8 for the gravy boat. This piece is, I just love it. It's adorable. The pattern is called Toyland. It was made by the Mayer company. And I'm not quite sure when it was produced, but it does say Interpace on it, and Interpace did acquire Mayer China in 1964. And from the looks of it, I would say this is probably right around that era. It's a little kid's restaurant bowl. Saw this at the Goodwill. It's a 2.5 quart mixing bowl, anchor hocking, probably the late 70s or possibly the 80s. It's a decal. I'd never seen it before. I overpaid a little bit, I think. It was $6. I normally wouldn't buy this for $6, but I'd never seen one. Wanted to go home and do a little research, because for me, that's half the fun. And the only thing I could find was one like it with an apple decal on it. I could not find this decal, or I was thinking it was a pattern, but it's just a decal anywhere. But the apple one is selling for $19, or listing for $19, so I'm going to list this one for $19 too. It's in really great shape. I saw this at the Enjoy charitable thrift store, and I knew what it was right away. But even if I didn't, here's all the information is right here. I paid $3 for it. It's Macbeth Evans, one of my favorite Depression wear manufacturers. It's called American Sweetheart Pink. You can see right there, I put in 1930 to 1936. That's when they were produced. It's a 12-inch platter. I guess originally at an estate sale, they were probably asking $10 for it. I'm going to list it for, I think, $25 to $30. It's actually a 13-inch platter. It's called a salver, actually. It's a salver tray. If you remember a few videos back, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 actually, I found and discovered Southern potteries in the Blue Ridge design. And I had bought this exact same set, this 3-piece set here, for $2.99, and I actually sold it pretty quickly for $20. Well, this piece was there at the same time too, but it had a chip in it, so I really didn't want to pick it up. So every time I go in there, I keep waiting for this color to go half price. It did go half price, so for half price I picked it up. And I still don't know what the pattern is. I looked again. I love looking at all their patterns. They have a database. You can sit there all day and look through their hundreds and hundreds of patterns. I'm not really sure what this one is. I didn't see anything close enough that I would even venture a guess, but I have an email into the person who bought this originally to see if she wants to purchase this for just a little bit less. This is another case of, I have all the information right here. You can see it's Deco, hand painted in Holland, and I could not find the Deco company anywhere, but you're gonna love this mug as I do. It looks very mid-century to me. It's a raised relief cow, great condition, and it has a pretty little picture on this side, obviously Dutch, but the most fun thing about it is the inside. So I paid 99 cents for this, and I think I'm gonna ask $20 for it. It's just adorable. I haven't seen another one like it. So this is the surprise I was talking about. I picked it up at Goodwill the other day, paid $6.99 for it, which is kind of a lot for me, but when I turn it over and show you what it is, you'll be surprised, I hope. I know I was. It's a Bob Ross master paint set. It's never been opened. And for those of you who've been watching my videos, you know I love Bob Ross. I even went up to New Smyrna and we did a video at his studio and just been looking and looking for a Bob Ross picture, which I know I'll never find because he donated them all to charity. And I thought this was almost like the next best thing. I just got very, like I said, excited when I saw it. I didn't know what it was worth. I just knew I had to take it home. I looked it up. I'm going to ask $110 for it, and I don't think I'll have any problem selling it. It has the original tag on it. They are trending on eBay, as eBay is telling me, for 120. So I think 110 is a good price and a great investment. I found another Jasco critter, Lovin' Critters by Jasco. This one's 1978. Yep, 1978, and it actually has a name. It's Little Reindeer. And the funny thing is, I found it in another store, not the same store where I found the bear, the adorable little bear cub in the baseball uniform. It's the same thing. It's candle holder. This obviously is a Christmas one. In great shape, and I'll probably ask the same $16 I'm asking for the other one. Paid 99 cents for this at the Goodwill. It doesn't have a mark. I thought it was Libby. I still think it is. You probably can't see it. It has like a little fan-shaped thing there. Sometimes Libby would just have that and not the L in it. I actually picked it up. It's in great condition because I was pretty sure it was a Corel pattern. I couldn't find it in Corel. I couldn't find it in Libby. The only thing I could find were two people selling the same glass for about $5. I found this at the Goodwill. I paid $2.99 for it. As you can see, there's no markings on the bottom, but for those of you who've been watching my videos lately, you probably already guessed it is a Bartlett Collins cookie jar without the top. I've been finding lots of Bartlett Collins lately. Unfortunately, none with the lids. If it did have a lid, it would sell for about $40. It's a mid-century piece. I use mine as, I should have brought it over to show you guys. I have one that I use as a holder for my utensils. I'll show it to you later. But I think in this condition, which is perfect, but without the lid, I could probably sell it for about $16. I found some more Anchor Hocking fruit made between 1957 and 1968. This time I was able to pick up 4 bowls. They're in perfect condition. The logo on the bottom, which we showed you before, dates this to the 1950s. That's an older logo. It's in the Colonial Band. They're painted on the Colonial Band milk glass. And I paid $13 for all 4 of these. Every one of them is gorgeous. I don't think they've ever been used. There's not a mark on them. I think they were display pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these 2 and try and find the rest of them because they are nesting bowls. And I'm going to sell these 2 off, and I'll definitely get my $13 back, probably times 2. And I'm just going to mention it one more time. They're not gay fad. They were made by the Washington Glass Company. But it's okay if you guys want to refer to them as gay fad, because everybody does. And to tell you the truth, until just about a year or 2 ago, and I've been collecting these forever, I also thought they were gay fad. Got these at the Goodwill. I picked them up as soon as the guy was putting them down. They are 8 sets in all. I paid $2 a set. They came wrapped up in sets of 2. And the company is Flint Ridge out of California. And the pattern is called, let me turn it over so you can get a better look. It's called True Love No Band Color. And it's called No Band because they also made them in different colors. This being white, I guess, is the no band line. They're produced between 1964 and 1971. The company was founded in Pasadena, California in 1946. And I found very interesting information on the word ridge, which is Chinese for high hill or ridge. And that was where the finest clay was made. So I guess they used that in their name, Flint Ridge. And the company was acquired by Gorham in 1970. I'm going to ask $10 a set for most of these. I did notice this one has a tiny little chip on it, so maybe a little less for that one. I do plan on selling them individually. I was on my way to the post office the other day to mail the Neil the Frog mugs. I sold 4 of them to Liesl. She saw them on the video and bought them. Thank you, Liesl. And on the way back, I was just stuck in traffic, like I said before, so I decided to off-road and do a lot of thrifting. I have enough things that I bought the other day for 2 thrift hauls. One's already lined up to go. I hope to get it up in the next day or 2. And I'm going to dedicate the outtakes to Bob Ross today for that wonderful find I found. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Most important, leave a comment, and we'll see you again real soon.
I say, we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents. So today, let's have a happy accident and see what we can make out of it.
And if you've painted with me before, you know this is the fun part of this whole technique. We wash our brushes with odorless thinner, shake them off, and just beat the devil out of them. And that's where you take all your hostilities and frustrations, and it's a lot of fun.
Hi, Eddie. Yeah, this Bob Ross Art Workshop has been here since 1992. Bob actually opened it up in 1992, so he worked here for a couple of years. And what we do here, 24 weeks out of the year, we actually certify students to become Bob Ross instructors. And then they go out and teach the technique to other people. We do landscape, florals, and wildlife. That's 24 weeks out of the year. And when we're not doing that, we do day classes, like these paintings over here on the wall with the dates on them. Those are the ones that we actually do on just a day class.
So it's in like the Bob Ross technique?
Just like, exactly. Well, it's a Bob Ross workshop, so we have to stick to the Bob Ross technique.
Do you do them in half an hour?
No, it takes us about 4 hours, so it doesn't take us, that's a long, Bob can do it. And I think Bob said in one of his shows that it took him 30 years to do a painting in 30 minutes, so you just can't pick it up right away. Yeah. But the fun thing about the actual day classes, so when you come in, we'll have everything set up for you. The canvas, brushes, paints, you walk in like that, we teach you how to do the painting, you take your painting home with you. And we give all our classes to beginners.
Well, I think JoJo and I are definitely going to take a class
and
do an old Bob Ross picture.
All right.
Thank you, Eddie.
An original Bob Ross painting, right?
Exactly.
Done by you, done by Michelle. All right.
Thanks, Eddie. It was
Michelle,
wonderful meeting you. We're going to look around and enjoy.
All right, thank you.